All praises to Haya Ashura Haya Bashem Shaya Walk. This is your boy Israel. And today I spoke about the Messiah's house in his documentary. So let's get straight to it. The Messiah showed me something in a prophetic dream. So the Messiah dwelt with me for about 3 days, and he mentioned the house maybe on the first or second day. I appeared wearing a white robe in a project area, as they like to call it. And there was a playground there and everything. And I began to speak about the Bible. And it was an Israelite that I knew coming up, and she was a bully once again. This is the second time she has appeared in my dreams or visions. And she began to mouth off at me, and I began to, react in the same like manner. And at first it was going to be me and her fighting, but then a group of Israelites came out and they began to chase me. And so it was about 30 or 40 or more of them, and I ran down the street and I saw an abandoned house, and I began to run through the house, and then they began to follow me inside of the house. But then all of a sudden they disappeared, and I saw a winding staircase, and I began to run up and down the staircase. And when I got towards the middle of the house, the Messiah was there. He had on the same thing you see as this man has on in the picture. And he began to speak to me, and he said, "Tell them about me." And I put my hands up and I said, "What?" I was trying to understand, what do you mean? Because I had just finished prophesying, and so it ended. And I received wisdom, instruction, and understanding concerning this. I give all praises to the Most High, Haya, Yeshaya, Walk, and Chokma, especially Chokma, for working with me and laboring with me through this. Because it took a lot to understand this. So, these Hebrews are the ones that have rejected Christ, and they have rejected who he sent in the last days, and that's the tribe of Gad, Genesis 49:19. And so they began to battle with me, if you will, until I ran to the Messiah, to his house, and it was abandoned. This is why the Messiah told me that he has an abandoned house. And the man there is this man here you see on the screen. And the Messiah stated that this man looks 100% of the way he looked when he walked the earth. If you look at my videos, Face of the Crucifixion, you will see that I explained this. And he stated, "Tell them about me." Now, we all know that I have been prophesying for about 14 years concerning the downfall of my land, formerly Ozareth. So he wasn't talking about that. He was talking about him being the chief cornerstone and them rejecting him by the way of his father's house. You see that? This is why in the book of Matthew he has stated that you have made my father's house a den of thieves. And when did this happen? Well, this man passed away in Virginia 2 years ago, the same night as I had this prophetic dream. You see that? He passed away. So the Most High has decided 2 years ago that you have made his house desolate. So he's telling you that back then they received him, and some rejected him in that particular house. What house? The house of the Most High and the house of Israel. You see that? But Judah was the ringleader. And likewise, Judah was the ringleader coming against me in this prophetic dream. And so this man died. He was robbed. You see that? Robbed of his life and his belongings. Remember, Chicago will be the first of all. Jamestown, Virginia, the last standing. And this man passed away in Virginia. So when this happened 2 years ago, the Most High has stated that you have forsaken his house via the way of the Messiah, because he is now the high priest after the order of Melchizedek. And now the Most High is going to abandon your false prophet, your false prophetess, men and women, bishops, reincarnated prophets, hypocrites on the corner. He's talking about Hebrews. And now the only way out is through the blood of Christ. And he says you have abandoned what he has set up. And so what happens when this takes place. Judgment. And it's coming. Remember, Gad is getting ready to overcome this winter. And I found the Messiah. Why? Revelation 19, the wife has made herself ready, and I have not abandoned him. You see that? Not one bit out of these 14 years, I have not left the Messiah or left his house unattended. But these wicked Hebrews, Haya has stated, you have abandoned him for the world. Money. You see that? Because this man perished because of his belongings, his possessions. You see that? You have laid up treasures on earth. You see that? Which now the Most High is getting ready to destroy each and every last one of them. Point blank, period. And this is the conclusion of the matter. You have abandoned the only Son of the Most High for the world, for money. And now it is time for Haya to exalt his right hand, and his house will no longer be abandoned, because the remnant of the children of Israel are getting ready to go home, and Gad is getting ready to overcome with that, and the Messiah, his imminent return, is at hand.